This is day 1166 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yami. I sponsor come share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yami. Please contact me directly. I greatly appreciate it. Today we're doing Siman Kuf Yud Dalid Sif Yud Gimel to Chaf. Yud Gimel. All these beverages which we talked about. I had there who rak im ein chashesh b'hem mitar of yain. The leniency is only if there is no mixture of wine in them. Kamo shechecher made vasher tzebeilu, such as beer or honey water, etc. Only mashkin sheish l'chush b'hem mitar of yain, but types of beverages in which there is a concern of wine mixed in. Tapuchim such as apple wine, rimonim, and pomegranate wine. Those places, wine is cheaper than the non-wine alcoholic products. I feel later result, or even it's not cheaper. But the beverage you are crafting is enhanced by wine. If there's only even if there's only this concern, also you can know. Oh, yeah, Kutin allowed to buy from a non-Jew. Until you know for sure there's no mixture of wine in it. Even if it has a mixture of wine, but you know the wine is nullified 1 in 60. Gamte mutter is also miscible. Those are you don't need 60. And sometimes have 1 in 6. The wine in water is butter in 6. Shar mashkin, and this is true about wine and other beverages as well. There we show is rakbin. Mine butter b'shisha. The first opinion holds that only water is wine butter 1 in 6. Shar mashkin so shishim and other beverages you need 60. The concern of mixture of wine ain't bunny. It's only by a barkeeper or sells in a bar. Literally, a storekeeper sells in a store. He sees people taking out of the barrel. Mutter. So then, when you saw the previous stage where people were taking the wine out of the barrels, and you saw that it had no wine involved, it's permissible. Not concerned that later the barkeeper added in wine at the bar, retail level. Because if you add wine now to the barrel, it will ruin it. But during the time when it's in the store, but it's for a short amount of time. It's just there for a day or two until it gets sold. So then, when the guy is not concerned it's going to get ruined, he puts in wine in a day or two. The it's obvious. If this the quality of this the beverage that does get ruined by wine, even if it's coming from the barrel. Because I've been on a mob, they normally line the vessels and the pots in lard and pig fat. Ain't not concerned. Should have a nice time with gum. Pig lard in these beverages gives a bad taste. So it's nice time with gum. The gum butter shishim is also nullified at 60. Gum ain't lachush. And that's the mashkin really clean. So yeah, I'm not going to say you put these pomegranate wine, etc., in wine vessels. See later on, the makom shnagul says dam or shar is to toch hamelach. They place it as blood or some other prohibited substance blended into the salt. If it's permitted or forbidden, ad and quote for the Ramah. V'shamli is by that's in Kuflam B'Dalet. It comes clarified the mutar the havit and the sakam. It's okay because it gives a bad taste. Ma'aser makam echel is ma'aser in story. Shugula Mareh. The rabbi was told Shapulin Lachim Shemachim Sham Moshe Som Varis. He said that they said the white beans when buys there are anointed with bleach. I guess in order to get them whiter. But it's nice. So he forbade buying them. I guess this bleach is not really bleach. It's something which is edible because otherwise, how would it be also? Achmika is some sort of soap suds, I guess. Achmika din ein chashash, but in any event, there is really, strictly speaking, no such problem. They taste the goes, it gives them off taste. Vodamir de maimas adavar. Besides, who knows actually do it? Vodafim mosin can ain't a put the bahama. If they do it, it's only a drop. It sucks the whole, or the polish it, like can remove the dirt. Therefore, it's okay. Can't present anything similar as well. It's a piece of true name of the obvious. Test Vav. Because what I was saying about the Shulchan Sif, hey, they write as follows: Yenri Monim pomegranate wine shemogos for which you sell for healing medicinal purposes. Mutter lochel me'atagar, allowed to take it for a merchant. Avilu shlo me'achovis, even if it's not from the barrel. Even it's more expensive than regular wine. We should have came to East paid because since there is a meticulous what's the problem with the word beta? I keep forgetting how to translate it. Um, I guess it's you have to be meticulous and do it the right way. So Lomar Nafshi is not going to put his living on the line by tampering with the proper dosages. So to anything which is bought from a craftsman, Lomar Nafshi is not going to put himself on the line. If he does, have to use your common sense with this. So we know that there are craftsmen who make mixtures and they don't care. And the other way, there are people who have barrels of in their cellars of wine. They are concerned to be meticulous. They know says shumtaris and they don't make any mixture. It shows and those who do. Buyer beware, cabin emptor. He has to know. Yesh is a chashash is by if there would be some sort of problem with the mixed together. People shall frost hakol mixab. So Shulchan can't explain everything to you in writing. I'm not sure why. Is it because it's talking too much, or because he doesn't want to know the tricksters had a trick? Test 9, Old Crustle, they also wrote, should certainly serve the Lachor with Sheikhel Mashka Shalvash. They have to check out the honey water. So some akutim actually knows what behind the maybe nowadays they put in wine dregs. They do put in wine dregs. Also, because maybe now the buy in main mamash kashishim is trying they're on 60 in the beverage corresponding to the prohibited substance. Who would love the timer? Now that's always the dregs not put in there to give a taste. The timer, if it's meant to give a taste, I feel bad about that's not even bought on 1,000 kind of shuttle. Right, but somebody already explains in Gimel the year. Shisha, Shisha. Some will say you don't need 60. 6 is enough. Actually, Roshman of Klaus, Asa Chashash Tarovas, the Sheikh made Vash. That was back in time there are more. Today we don't never heard of people who have a concern that they're going to put a forbidden wine in these beverages. Therefore, today you don't have to make an inquiry in where there's unless there's that there's a significant reason to be concerned. But otherwise, by default we don't take that. Don't assume there's a problem. The oil of non-Jews, mutter is permitted. Shalchan Mishnah Chalan taught in the Mishnah. The Rebbe based Dino he does a shaman. Rebbe in his basin allowed the oil of non-Jews. Yisham Perkam Shabbos. Adam Gadol. It says about a great person in first part of Shabbos. Say Lord Tzolechol B'Shemen. You want to eat the oil of non-Jews. Shmuel said the message. Hechol, eat. Being lab, and if not, you could say Zakim Mamre going to write to your rebellious elder. Because of a Rambam Beherki Zion Dincha Beis is Shonim. Rambam right. Shemesh Lakum Mutter. All non-Jews are permitted. Misha also somebody who forbids it. Areis made bechet gadol. He is committing a grave sin. About combination, Mamral be basin too because he is rebelling against the basin which permitted it. I feel this Mashal Shem and even the oil is cooked. Areis Mutter remains permissible. Then that's Ocean Bishulem. It's not also on account of Bishulakum. Fish because you eat it raw, as is. Lamb, and it's not also even it's put in a pot, which had scraped up beforehand, so which can now secrete into the oil. The nation busted program is Hashem Masricha, because the taste of trade meat is going to damage the oil and cause it to become rancid. Chain Bashalem also their honey she's bashal, which was cooked, but also make confections of it. Mutter times that's mutter on that account. Akal Shana and quote from the Ramah. That was showed by the pot that is telling because the meat damages oil. So it's going according to his line. Reason he doesn't hold that stam kalim are not you haven't used in the past 24 hours. What should be but basically basis right? Okay, no, that's his opinion. That's what he had to write. It's actually the Ramosy, not the Ramah. Sorry. So he goes to sheet that we don't say stam kalim in the Yemen. So I have to explain. It says not flop. Because the oil damages the wine. Oil damages the meat damages the oil. Of course, he says time came but all of us know that we just assume the default assumptions that came are not. Haven't used it in the past 24 hours. A time partial is a symbol of chenu noise in time of gam. That's why it gives an off taste. And we knew this is not this is a type where the meat does not damage the taste of the oil or the honey. Because the came not been used the past 24 hours. Their oil and their honey are mutter. Below mishum Mishulayim, lo mishum gilayim, not also either because of bishulakum or because of secretions from the wall of the pot. Voiding the mind, kamim shalayim. That's rules about that hot water. Tanakamosh kasal, the reason like we wrote. Vatam mayim chamim plashatun. The reason for hot water is plashat. Vishanelcha kamosh uchai, because it can be eaten raw. The bris kelim gankein chashash, and there's no issue either. Also, if something come out of the walls. Vatam she's barf is the reason which we saw. It's not yoman. Veda mayim yoshamay chamim misimazeh. But he'll know, says Arukh HaShulchan, why this is the place for him to speak about hot water. Okay, I don't know. Yud Ches, Vinei Ze'erech Arukh HaShulchan, it was 25 years ago. So it's a kol gash, there was a tremendous uproar. Hashem and Zayis Muvah Michutz Medinasa, an avo which is brought from outside the country, that has a mixture of pig fat. And this rumor went and became stronger and stronger. And we refrained from having the oil, the avoid, for a long time. Even though the time of the Ramah, there was some precedent for this. Like it says in his response, the people said back then they were lining the barrel with pig fat. Thick pig fat. So there is no, in the oil there is not, oil jugs, not enough oil to negate that taste. When the Golem asked the Ramah to desist from eating it, and the Ramah responded, the person who asked the question. Holy mouth, like the Ramah's, she does himself in the sign job. We shave law, and he said, responded, Machmer is an astonishing position to take. The Matmin. The Mordechai Kosav, the Shuman Chazir, and that's time for Gam. Mordechai writes that pig fat gives a bad taste. But Shechor and beer, Vakoshke, and Shemin is still in oil. More Amra, Shemin, and Mavushal, the Mutter, and the Gemara says that oil is Mutter. Sorry, if you're mixing something forbidden, it would have gone bad by now. Amakol Taruas, but it was a shaman, so we see that any Taruas damages oil, even if it's not Daisin Tambagam. Um, uh, okay, and it says back as a Kamash Rashi Peter Shal Yain, that's going to wine, and Shem Konkon Bade Dakol Bichlal. Also includes oil. The issue is lining the barrels with lard, and it'll be the same as well. Located Nechush Lizet, because otherwise let's be concerned in the one or not the other. The Duke. But the Ramah brings lots of proof to reject those who had the kindness against him. Nevertheless, because of the great stir, the great confusion, we didn't eat the olive oil. Until over time, almost then there was a news spread through the nations of the world. And then I guess the news that there's lard in the olive oil spread, and therefore the great doctors and pharmacists, they checked all types of olive oil brought outside the country. By breaking apart the I guess the molecules, or based on how chemistry can do that. Take litmus type tests. But they notified us there's nothing from any animal origin in it. Some oils, there's a mixture of seeds. So as Nifsach called, then the rumors that was quashed. It's kind of like starting eating olive oil again. If you are machmir, it's astonishing and not appropriate. So where's against the words Chazal? Goes against Chazal. The test Isa Gemara says Gavin is a locust, a capris and capers, a kaflutos. I forget which vegetable that is. Habayim also come from a stockpile. Some sort of oats is like a. There are all types of stockpiles. He was one of the both. We turn them mutter. And but those who sell in the on the counter in front of a store are storing the awesome nation because the storekeeper sprinkles wine over them. All these are pickled fruits. But there's a concern of a mixture of wine. They're called directly from the stockpile. They're not concerned. He's not going to do this in the issue. Because the food is going to get ruined by the wine. But those called in the sold kalusa, the marketplace Itzach and Bunny by a storekeeper, which is sold in a very short amount of time. There they were concerned. Also, they're pickled olives. They're even they're very soft. So that the pit kind of falls out. We're still not concerned that wine was sprinkled on them. As long as they're not cut with their knives and non-Jews. It's the Machashem Charifin, Balu, because since the olives are considered sharp, Balu is sucking the absorb from the knife. The Charifos of olives only after they are pickled, not before. If they were pickled in non-Jewish vessels, that's okay. Because since there's water with them at that point, their bitterness is negated. So do everything similar. Some say the dafka row mine. That's not even a majority of water. Membase. It's here, like according to what we said about brine. So the mine of vata charif. Listen, even a little bit of water negates the sharpness. You can say the same here. My son the simon kusai glove sea base. I'm instantly chatichas sakin. Fish by Hashem it has in terms of cutting with a knife. It's clear over there. In him ribu zaysim. If there's so many olives that those which are cut with the knife before they dissipated, but extremely minority. Enchashash b'zekman is bato. So it's very nullified. Which causes Hashem made limons, like it says about lemonade. Okay, it says in the brackets, which are complicated, so wouldn't understand without looking inside. Chav. Hanavim shalem, they're grapes. So I feel they're very moist. Actually, not fos. Not fos. that they're dripping. Mutaris are permitted. We're not concerned that wine was sprinkled on them. They don't only do this. So to all sorts of pickles items, says it's so but you don't only put wine or wine vinegar, chometz yain, wine vinegar. Muti not saying allowed to buy them. Ugrekas kvushim, we buy pickled cucumbers, urekas kvushim, and pickled beets. I have a crate also of cabbages awesome. They should yarek zeh out of worm issues, not out of this kind of conscious issues. I can't cook this and anything similar. I have a minute kushi down on the station you saw in yain, chometz yain, ain't pickled food in which you put wine or wine vinegar. Also, going to not allowed to buy from them. I mean, that's only to make us an eating. But you allowed to benefit from them. If you know that everybody puts wine, I assume I feel about it, no? Why is the also in my no? It's Tam Yenam. Anyway, I'm not sure why. I guess they put a mamash yain nesa. That's what he means. So if much of us in Kufchav Gimel, it's Tam Yenam. Oh, here it is. If much is better in Kufchav Gimel, it's Tam Yenam. Malcolm have said Mutabano. Tam Yenam in place of losses. That arrive benefit from them. And so is that time you don't need to take off anything. You sell it as is. So that's going on the sheet of that. You have to purchase that. It's not nesach, and you can't sell it. So but drive on but we don't pass it because we assume that our wine, non-Jewish wine, is tam yena. It's tam yena, and therefore it's mutar.